And we are live in living color. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Pardon me, let me get my camera on here. Good evening, everyone. Peace and blessings, family. Good
Peace
evening,
and
lady.
blessings.
I feel like Charlie and his angels. Come on, strike. Everybody got to strike a pose. Like,
Wait, what was the?
I don't know. One was some one way, and I don't know. I'm gonna go the other way and
Donna, you supposed to be in the middle.
back to back or something.
Wait, I'm trying to figure out which way I'm going. Oh, wait a minute, that way, right? Wait a minute.
No.
Hold
I
on.
don't know.
Oh. Wait, we wrong, y'all. Like, we got to coordinate this.
Gotta figure it out. But
Yeah.
good evening, everyone. I'm
Jason and the
extremely tired.
Devil.
I am not gonna lie.
Hey, Jason, we're not Charlie's Angels. We're Jason's Devils.
Jason's Devils, you funny. Right.
This is going to be a
Good
slow.
evening, ladies, by the way.
This seems like it's going to be a slow one, huh?
Where's Deron?
And we do have another. Tonight we have a extreme pleasure because we have a guest host coming on tonight. Out on injury reserve, off the bench, coming live from Indianapolis.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Mr. Luck himself. Turn around real quick, let everybody see the back somehow.
Coach.
And shine your back so everybody can see
Coach.
what your back says.
Wait a minute. I give it. No, this is the Ravens, y'all.
Oh, wow. I forgot. Deron.
Yes.
You do know Donna got a Ravens background up.
And that's perfectly fine. Listen, brother. We don't discriminate over here. You see the colors.
Okay, so Deron, listen, real quick. So, we had a conversation pre-show, kind of, sort of. Sorry, Jason, for last.
Wait a minute, you gotta let him introduce us first.
Introduce
I think it's interesting because you have two Ravens fans and you have two Colts fans here.
Yeah.
All right, Jason, go ahead and do the introduction.
I find this awfully interesting. I think I was set up this evening. So, family. But good evening, everyone. Let's take it from the top real quick. Welcome to Frontline News, bringing you news from the front line of America and beyond. I am just one of your hosts of many this evening. To my right is my dear sister, Donna Tebron Green. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
And below me, underneath me, I feel like the Brady Bunch in those little boxes. Like below me is Carol Brady.
Ooh.
In the Colts outfit. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
Listen, I was trying to be professional. Don't start.
You know you get no love here. You know you get no love here wearing a jersey like that.
Listen,
no love
I was trying to be professional. Don't start now. Trying to be professional. And get my little model on.
Family, welcome. Welcome. I mean, just the gentleman has so many talents. I mean, I don't know where to begin. Poet, rapper, just an extraordinary dad. Extraordinary family man. I mean,
you
just
have to look in the sun
all
like
the way around. But and his only fault is he's a Colts fan. Everyone,
right?
Welcome, Deron Hill, this afternoon.
Yay, my little monkey! Yay!
Wow, that's a family thing.
I love for Ravens Nation.
Okay. How y'all doing tonight? Such an honor to be here, along with Miss Yolanda, Sir Jason, and Reggie up there with the Baltimore stuff in the background.
Ooh,
it's all good though. Let's have some fun.
He came out. He came out the corner.
Yeah,
he coming out hot, huh? I got him.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, another Colts fan. We're not gonna falter for it. She was a former mayoral candidate for Baltimore City. And I like something that Godfather said today. Godfather called her, actually, she is the mayor of Baltimore City. So
the unofficial mayor.
The unofficial mayor, he called her. of Baltimore City. Without further ado, our dear sister, Yolanda Pulley. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. Yes, people call me the unofficial mayor. They call me the street mayor, or they just call me mayor. I mean, I'm just at all, but I thank you for, recognizing.
Beautiful.
Outside of the fact that you're a Colts fan again, we're not gonna
we're gonna actually leave certain things alone. We got a whole TV radio show.
We're not gonna send you packing in a Mayflower moving vehicle, okay?
She's out of there, y'all. She's out of there.
Okay.
So, Jason, what we were talking about as far as Devon and our lovely Devon. So basically, we want to know because, right now we're considered old folks, and old folks don't know what's going on. So we want to attract some of the younger crowd and try to find out what they're talking about and how they deal with things, and basically train them up to almost take over. We got to train them in and bring them in, and hopefully someday we can have Deron and some of our other youth, advocates. We can have them running the show, just trying to get the information out there and get their view of things. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think that's what we should be doing. Like you said, us old heads should be making sure that we're preparing, the next generation, to be able to do the things that are necessary to make sure that they're protecting community and protecting family.
Right.
And again, I mean, as far as I know of, again, Deron to me exemplifies nothing but the best in what a Black man should be for his community and for his family. No, honestly, no bullshit. So, but
I'm gonna need him to look at the screen, Deron. We're not taking pictures right now.
Listen. The things that are being said is just like, I feel like I'm on like a TV show. It's like, how people be. Matter of fact, how you watch Maury or something like that, and they tell their story, and the people be gazing off in the distance.
But Devon, I want to actually give you a little shout out because it's a lot of people that don't know that you actually are more talented than and you actually appeared on a movie, which was actually written and directed by our cousin Marcus, David Marcus. So we actually gonna have to probably reach out to him to try to see if we could get a conversation going with him to try to support and network. Devon, you are an aspiring actor out here. You are a up and coming rapper out here. You are a great dad out here. So, you are an excellent cook. Shout out to my birthday dinner that kind of went off track, Yolanda. We'll talk about that later. Yes, but Devon, I want to truly thank you. I want to thank all of PBTS because I definitely felt very, 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 I feel grateful for all the attention that I felt. I feel, and everybody out there, the small acts of kindness, some cash apps, some great beautiful messages, text messages, emails. I absolutely feel loved. And Deron, you was the good cook of this dinner, and I want you to tell us how do you keep going? It's so much negative going on out here, and you're in that crowd that although you've been targeted with the police, with you fitting the description, you've never what made you not go out into that negative light? How do you do it?
Just believing that, or just having hope, really, that it's light at the end of the tunnel. Really, you get what I'm saying? Every time I go through something, I always tell myself this is just a moment. It don't last forever. Nothing lasts forever. Even ill feelings, ill thoughts, it's just momentary. Everything is momentary. So I try to enjoy the moment and everything. I always been the one and told myself to see the beauty in the struggle. Just be a be at peace with a lot of things. Sometimes people don't mean what they say. Sometimes people act off emotion. I'm just very calculated.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to piggyback off of. We live in a society now where, it's too many emotions attached to crime, to be honest. People don't know how to let stuff go.
I don't agree with that. Like I don't.
Can I finish my statement first, Donna?
Mm-mm.
It is. We have a lot of emotional creatures out here that sit up there and do things on emotion instead of thinking before you react. They react before they think. I'm telling you, Donna.
I don't think it's no emotion attached. I think we so desensitized that we don't put emotion on it. The only emotions that we have in a black family, we resort right back to anger. So in anger, we act out, we do whatever.
Emotion? That's an emotion.
Yolanda, there's an
there's also
underlying
another
emotion.
perspective of
like,
it.
what is the underlying emotion? Like most of the time, we're hurt. It's not
It's
just
still
anger.
An emotion. They go out here and they.
I get what you're saying, both of you, but there's another perspective. Some folks say that some cases it's the effeminization of the black male child, and what I mean by that is you have households that are raised by women, and you have men that unfortunately have tendencies to argue similar like women. They get into catty disputes. They want to get into catty arguments.
And
they want to get into things that necessarily aren't normally what you see in a male figure or in a male presence. So a lot of folks say it's the effeminization of the black male child.
And to add on to what Jason was just saying, a lot of the times also as well, like when we're raised in when there's men raised in woman type households, well, woman led type households sometimes. We are, us as men are taught to not have feelings and emotions and things like that. So that adds.
Yeah, but your generation is your generation.
Hush, Yolanda. Hush, let them talk. Go ahead, Devon.
Oh, she just
yes. So like, and that adds to it, like just not being able to express how you feel about things because how you're looked at as a man and what a man is supposed to be rather than. And we're taught that men don't have feelings. How you doing? We're taught that men don't have feelings. Men can't cry. Men can't, express how they feel. We're literally taught that. You get what I'm saying? Like we're not supposed to do it. So now,
Devon, I'm sorry, Devon, because understand that you were brought up in a household that was a single, strong black mother, but
that's true.
We were raised by a single, strong black mother, but broken. And so we taught that same brokenness to teach y'all that, can't nothing hurt you. And then we tend to teach you to shut down your feelings. And then like you walk, you move robotically, but we want somebody to attach to us with a feeling, but we taught y'all to have no feeling.
Right. Because y'all didn't want us to feel that same hurt that y'all felt.
Well,
or be as vulnerable or open as you may have been, and somebody came in and victimized you, or somebody came in and took advantage of you. So you don't want your children to go through that. You want to protect them from that. You want to make them stronger.
But we were taught that boys don't play with dolls. Boys aren't supposed to have certain emotions. Boys are not supposed to do this, and girls ain't supposed to do that. So, we apologize to Deron and, our children for the way that we raised them, because we was only following the pattern that was set before us, and it was not right.
You were trying to do a little better than our mother. We tried instead of being better.
As parents, like what I've learned as being a parent, like every day we are learning. You get what I'm saying? Like we don't have all of the answers. We're learning each and every day. Doesn't matter if your child is 4 or 40, you're still learning things. You get what I'm saying? So, when y'all did have that conversation with us, I completely understood. And like it was nothing for y'all to apologize. Grateful y'all apologize for it, but it was y'all didn't really have to apologize for it. You were still learning. And still learning.
I think the way that we brought y'all up was we taught y'all to be under emotional, and then my youngest two, I taught them to be over emotional, and the balance just didn't weigh out. I definitely see the difference in the ones that I had discipline in versus the ones that I did not have discipline in. And me trying that new thing, clutching to my children because I lost my mother. And I'm just going to be completely honest. I clutched because I lost my mother. And, I didn't have anybody else that I could trust with my feelings besides my children. So y'all basically went through all that trauma with me, all that hurt, all that damage with me. And y'all was my frontline punching bags. And and like I said, I apologize for it because y'all did help me raise my youngest two. I don't even know what I would have done without you and Khadijah, to be honest. And Donna and Darius and Ray Ray and Boopa. I don't know what I would have done.
Listen, the way that we were all like we always talk about it. We always say like on to Yoshi children, to your children, Donna was dad, and to Donna's children, Yoshi was dad. You get what I'm saying? Because we didn't have our dads, and just and the funny thing is just seeing how y'all operated and was being so strong, like it's commendable. And I think that's what I appreciate most in women. Like just seeing y'all, the strength that y'all have, like it's just like Jesus.
But Devon, the only reason why we come back and apologize is because we want to show your accountability. Right. The fact that our mother, we as parents, we feel like a failure when we have to apologize to our kids, so we don't do it because we feel like that's weakness. But if we don't tell you exactly where we went wrong, you're going to teach your kids the same lessons that we didn't want to teach y'all.
Yeah, right. See, that thing is, I'm grown and you'll never be growner than me, and
in my house, you live under my rules, right? My house. No, this is our castle. Yes.
Yeah, it's cost to be the boss. All that crazy mess.
Do you got McDonald's money?
Huh?
All of it.
What?
Stuff like that.
What?
Us want like McDonald's. Do you got McDonald's money?
Yeah, we gotta just teach togetherness. And like one thing, as a certified life coach.
Wait a minute, hold up. Tell Deron, say what you say. Tell her where you got that from.
What?
Where your mother had to play the mother and the father.
Oh, hold up.
No, Deron. Deron do some old dumb stuff. Go ahead, tell her what you did to me after you watched this comedian back in the day.
Hold on.
Wait.
It is a big dog right here. Got 8 hours.
I was wondering what was going on. We could do without the mile though, Deron, Oh, yes, cruise on in. Yeah, y'all, we live, y'all. We can't. We live, y'all.
I am too through.
Yes, because Devon is terrified of dogs. It don't matter what size they are. Like the smaller the better.
Donna, it's a pit bull that keep getting out of yard around here. I mean, he is huge, and he just runs the neighborhood, and people just run in the house. I mean, it's huge.
Why did we lose Devon though? Where is he? Is he still connected? Jason,
run to the bathroom.
Yeah, he's still connected.
Ooh, he had to run to the bathroom. Devon, you made no boo-boo.
I am too through.
Yeah, but okay. So just to go on what we were saying, so it's like as my favorite person that I follow, Iyala Vanzant. It's like one of the things that she taught us is to give our children our story, and a lot of things that they look at as strength. And I grew up knowing that as long as I was a little better than my mother, and that's a bad philosophy because I never strived to be a better person. I just wanted to be better than my mother and my father, instead of a better Donna. So now I want to be a better me. I don't want to be better than you. I don't want to be better than anyone. I want to be better than me. And then just like I said with the change, in order for us to see the change, we got to be the change that we want to be. And if we show our kids intentionally, then I feel like it'll be an easier transition to break these chains.
Well, one thing I learned from you is when we start apologizing is that, accountability. We can't come out in the streets and hold everybody else accountable when we never even held ourselves accountable. And, I learned that from you. She's my favorite person. I call her my everything. Oh, thank you, Panethia.
Call her for everything,
Yes, she did. She
So it's okay to say
Panethia. We love our Panethia.
We do love you, Panethia. It's just like, we're making it okay to apologize. Like I used to build a narrative behind I'm sorry. I would do a lot of things to actually be sorry for.
Right.
But I looked at the narrative that I'm not sorry. I don't want to be sorry. Like I'm saying I'm sorry, make me a sorry person. No, that's me changing the narrative. If I don't want to say I'm sorry, I'm not going to do things to be sorry for. Right. You know, because I really lived it. I told you, I live with the philosophy that you ask for permission. I mean, you instead of asking for permission, you ask for forgiveness later. That was my lifestyle. I just asked for forgiveness later. So if I got caught, I just got slicker at it.
Right.
So I mean, just and then your children are exposed to those trainings.
Yep.
And it's done right in their face, and we give them the philosophy that you do as I say, do not as I do. That didn't work for us. Right. You know, that's a direct.
One of my all-time favorite. When I want your opinion, I'll give it to you.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, it's a lot of lessons that we learned as a parent, you know, and we're trying to teach our children something different. Welcome back, Deron. Are you okay?
Yeah. Listen, when I tell you this pit bull had a head like Forrest Whitaker's, listen to me.
Oh my God.
Listen, and he was just staring at me like wait a minute, where'd you come? I didn't hear him at all.
That's that big pit bull that keep getting out the yard up the street.
Listen, I'm shaking right now.
Yeah, we can tell.
Yeah, I got a whole little barricade going on. I'm good.
Okay, well, welcome back. We're glad you're back. So we were just really talking about like basically apologizing to our children and admitting when we're wrong and giving y'all our story, because sometimes when you're on the outside when you're on the outside and you see all the situations we go through, and then you see the pain in us, but the way we move look like strength. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't strength. That was truly broken, Deron. Like I want you to know that. And listen, like that was truly broken. Like the way we move about with no emotion to the people that we hurt, like we literally had to look that pain in the face and face it.
But see, and this is the thing, like, me being older now, I always, like I said, me, Darius, Deja, all of us, we always talk about, particular moments. And it wasn't even, we seen past, where, you guys was trying to fake it for us. It was y'all raw moments that mattered the most. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Seeing right. that, you guys had emotion, seeing that this actually gets to you is what made us really appreciate, appreciate certain things, certain qualities in y'all. And now we look for that in our women. You mm-hmm. get what I'm saying? And you're supposed to. Honestly.
One thing I can appreciate about Deron, when I was on the front line at an early age, Deron was always there. Me doing mm-hmm. what I do and Donna doing what she does. We got our children targeted and harassed by police. We mm-hmm. got them chased by security guards. And not one time did they ever say, this is your fault. You need to stop doing what you're doing. Yeah. Y'all need to do, he never, none. Darius
stand right there on the front line with us.
They sometimes jump right in the front of you. Yeah. Because it's bigger than Nino Brown. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This is bigger than Nino Brown.
Right. Hey, Mr. Brown, it's bigger.
Yeah, because we was in New Jack City, to be honest.
This is bigger than Nino Brown.
Appreciate y'all. Yeah, we greatly appreciate y'all for going through everything we went through, and you never once judged us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is what, and I need people to understand, this is what family looks like. If you are not connecting to your family on this level and asking for forgiveness of your children, because we didn't do everything right. Parenting didn't come with a handbook, especially at the ages that me and Donna had our children at.
Didn't do most of the things right, but we did enough right to look at the results of our children. And they're not all good. They're not all great. Some of them have past, some of them have history, but guess what? They're still alive. They're still alive, and we still got another day, thank God, to get it right. So, when y'all raising your kids with the best of y'all, instead of you being better than your father or doing things better than your mother. You be a better Deron. You be a better father for the children. Like, you show them exactly what a father is, because the way you raise them, you'll see through their children. And we know we raised some darn good parents. Like, Yolanda being a woman and me being a woman, they said women can't raise men. But I tell them all the time, queens raise kings every day.
Well,
and that's
first of
one
all,
thing
we
about it.
birth.
So you can never, in the way that our sons move with their children, the way that I look at my grandkids, the way they look at their father, and the way that I look at the Ron, kids, and the way I look at, I don't know about little Ron. We're gonna have to get him together. His kids look at him. One of them look a little angry all the time. The other one look a little confused. We're gonna get that together. But it's okay. The older ones, it's like, it's lessons. It's lessons. So it's like just to watch y'all grow and evolve. We just don't want you to make our mistakes, especially in front of your children, because for you, I feel like you're something like me and your mother, Mr. Fix It.
Yeah.
It's like we look at the brokenness from our mother and our father, and we want to go fix somebody. Unfortunately, somebody tried to fix me one day. I wasn't ready until I was ready, Deron.
Right.
I'm still, and now I'm being on purpose about staying to myself and really embracing me, because we was never taught that all love is within. Imagine you giving yourself that very same love that you done gave to everybody else. Imagine it. Imagine you dating yourself the same way you intentionally dated somebody else. To me, that's successful, because we teach people how to treat us. We teach them directly. So when you go on, and it's nothing wrong with you helping people and loving them through their situation, because you want somebody to love you through yours too. But we got to show intentionally that we love ourselves, because that make people want to love us.
And see, that's why we created People Empowered by the Struggle. I want, when my legacy ends, I want my kids to carry on my legacy of people empowered by the struggle.
When she wake up dead, Deron, that's what she said. When she wake up, when we wake up dead, when we wake up dead, y'all still get this show, keep going. Y'all still, roll with PBTS. You put things in line, and anybody else, like, don't mourn me. Do not mourn me. Understand, once I shut my eyes, I'm celebrating. I don't feel bad for y'all. Y'all can get there one day.
Yeah. And we need y'all to train up our grandkids to come along.
Because I'm gonna shake some grounds under your feet if I see something going on. Like when I become one of them ancestors, you better move right. I'll be into them spirits and stuff.
Coming back. Jason, can you read that since you're on the other end? Jason,
are you there, Jason?
He gotta be. He's.
Devon, you want to go ahead and read that if you want?
Said, we are not taking the responsibility of investing the long-term effects of generational trauma and the dysfunction that the experiment known as integration has on the mental health of not just our children, but ourselves as well. It has been 40 or 50 years since we have had the rights of other Americans. 450 years of displacement and genocide cannot be erased by declaring or claiming 40 years of imagined equality. That is
that was right on point, Mr. What was his name?
Yusuf.
I think it was Yusuf.
You right on point.
Yusuf. Wow. Thank you.
Listen,
right,
absolutely correct.
Listen, I was reading ahead, and it was already hitting me like that boy on something.
The legacy. When we talking about, I don't agree with our ancestors. I feel like, we went through they sent us through unnecessary things, but
you're so low, by the way, we can't hear you.
It's depending on what ancestors, because our ancestors go way back. We're not even going to start on the time when slavery started. We got ancestors way before that. So
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones who let other people control our narrative.
Slave-minded mindset, Yolanda. We can't
control our narrative.
I know, but we can't start we can't start our beginning from slavery.
I'm not starting our beginning there. I'm starting our trauma there, because that's where it started from. It started from them.
Some of it.
Yeah, it started from them. Basically, we should never have integrated. I'm sorry. The worst thing that they could have ever did for us was integrated us into their society.
I don't know, Yolanda, because really, if you look at it that way, we wouldn't be here.
How? We was first.
No. No. You talking? I'm talking about integrating with mixed races and this, that, and other. So we wouldn't be here.
You can love who you love, but I'm talking about when it comes down to the system, we should never have done that.
But if you separate them, that means you're not even exposing them to other options out there.
That's not true because we had Black people that was running their own businesses and doing their own thing and chose to love who they love. We're not talking about that piece. We're talking about the economic piece, and still we're still fighting for the same things that they've been fighting for 450 years. Come on now,
Yolanda, and we'll be fighting for 400 more years if you don't convince people that they're still the freak in slavery.
Well, Donna, I'm gonna ask them, who's that nigga on that nair?
That nair is that nigga over there.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask. If you know who that is, then you understand what we're saying. The generational curses that our ancestors put upon us. I mean, yeah, they went out there and marched, but why did we have to march? Why did we have to do certain things? Because this was set in by them, and now we're stuck in the mess that they created. It's the sins of the father.
Yeah, but we like they were marching not for equality, but for civil rights.
We shouldn't have had to march for that.
They were getting hosed in the street.
Wait a minute, Deron.
I don't mean to laugh. I'm saying like they were getting not only hosed in the street, but
and now you have
that dog that I just witnessed, it was more of them that didn't like this.
Yeah, but now, Deron, now you got Black people that don't even want to vote after those people stood in that line and been done dirty.
What about that?
Are you frozen? Oh,
he did look like he was frozen.
No, listen, y'all froze, so I didn't hear. I just kept a stern face.
It was just screen.
He was like, yeah.
I'm like, why is he not talking? What's going on? We live, Devon.
We made out good. Yeah.
Did we ever find Devon?
Good
evening, Mr. Lovelace. How are you? Oh, Lovelace. Lovelace, right?
Who's Lovelace?
Lovelace.
I love him. I love the work that he do. You know, I like to give people flowers while they're here. And Chap Lovelace is definitely one that we can see no color. He is definitely the one that stands on the front line and stand for what's right, not what was white. He also goes out here and he makes phone calls and he join people together and bring them in the conversation and bring them in rooms. And, you know, great love for him. Great love for him. He is our brother in the struggle.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yes. We have to meet you, Mr. Chat. Maybe we can bring you on one day. You know, Yolanda, you can introduce this phenomenal person to our community, you know, like our viewers. Like, you know, maybe
you should just come on and introduce yourself because you are our brother in the struggle. And you come out here and just like we stand on the front line, he stands on the front line. He sees no color. He sees no color. If people need help, he helps them. If they're hungry, he feeds them. If they're thirsty, he gives them things to drink. If they need clothes, he clothes them. And he also bring in people, you know, when he enter in rooms, he don't say, well, no, or you know how some people do, like, well, somebody's going to get something bigger than me, so I'm not going to invite nobody to the table. He invites everybody to the table. Everybody. And I greatly appreciate him. If you want to come on, Chap, and introduce yourself, we would love to have you.
Yes, we would.
Join in our conversation because you are our front line.
Yes, you are.
And I'm sweating like Hebrew slave over here. I don't know if that's a correct term I should be saying, but good God, I don't know why it's so freaking hot.
Yeah, probably not.
Your forehead is really shiny. Your forehead. Like, I was looking at mine, though. I think we got, like, I put some oil on y'all. Sorry.
I ain't putting no oil on it.
It looked like it.
I'm shining like a new penny up here.
Oh, my goodness.
Chap, come on and show some love. Yeah, but let's talk about.
Oh, welcome.
Namaste, assalamu alaikum, hello, hola. How you guys doing, man?
It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, you as well. So, you know, y'all know I got a show at 7. I'm getting ready for it, but I couldn't not show up when invited, man. I love you guys. I got a funny story I want to share about Yolanda Pulley and Miss Yolanda Pulley, the bully. I look, you ain't gonna stop me from calling you that, but it's all in love, right? A couple weeks ago, a family reached out who was displaced because their home was a crime scene for a gun-related crime. They were displaced in the police department. They have a unit that's supposed to find housing for victims, and they dropped the ball because during the process, allegedly, as was explained to me, was that during the process, they actually found and booked somebody for the shooting. And so the state's attorneys also has a unit who was supposed to take over. They didn't. So this family for about 5 to 7 days experienced homelessness, and they called and they needed housing. And, I called around, wasn't getting anywhere. So when I called Yolanda, long story short, and first of all, let me say this. I did my part because she actually called me and said, stop calling people. I got this. So respect, right? Like, but it's okay because it's all love. I didn't take offense. I'm like, yes, yes, ma'am, you got it. And within 24 hours of her, way less than 24 hours, but I'll give you, be conservative. Within 24 hours of her picking up the phone and start, beating people up, this family was in housing. They had a 4-month voucher for an apartment and a voucher for a down payment, I believe. And
4 months. They get 4 months.
Yeah, so
First
like,
month
wow,
security deposit.
you know what I mean?
4 months, yes.
We can't, we do a lot out here. Everybody on this show right now, I'm sure that you do a lot out here in the community, but we don't have to do all of it by ourselves. We have each other.
Right.
And what you can't do, I can do. What she can't do, so maybe you can do. Like the unity
together.
The unity fills in the gaps on things that the community needs, man. It's really beautiful. And it's all love, man. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your guys' consistency. Every Monday at 6, you guys are here telling our truth, and we need that. We need more of that.
Perfect. So he has a show, Yolanda, doesn't he? His show is right at Thou's, right?
Yeah, I jump on there and you be like, whoa, Chad.
Oh, yeah.
What is your show about? What's the name of it?
So it's called Shared Space. So I'm 44 years Baltimore. I am perceived as white. I grew up in Baltimore. And, I have mixed kids, and I've had more than the average person that looks like me experience in Black culture, especially in Baltimore. So I understand better my role in our fight.
Oh.
And I say that to say that I am an ally, right? And when Donnie gave me the mic, it wasn't really, I didn't want to usurp the mic from our people. I didn't want to usurp the mic and tell your story when I can just give you the mic, turn up the volume, and make sure people are listening to your story.
Wow.
So my show is called Shared Space. I co-host with Laquita Chansey, who's the commander-in-chief of Baltimore Homes, and she does a lot of homeless initiatives with people experiencing homelessness. She does a lot of other stuff too. But that's part of the spirit of our show is that it's not my show, it's our show, right? So when you're in Zoom meetings and people have their little what the pronouns that they like, he, she, or whatever they. I always joke and say our pronouns is we, us, our, right? Because we're not by ourselves. We're not here by ourselves. I can't really. I'm pretty ineffectual if I don't have my family around me to help. Like again, stand in the gap and push each other and communicate. So the Shared Space show is really about focusing on other people like yourself. In the community, doing things that maybe you don't make the news in a positive light. We'll make sure that we showcase the positive things in Baltimore, whether it's artists, whether it's a kid who just started a lawn mowing business, whether it's, whether it is an elected official, although I stay away from politics because I give our people the mic. They're going to get their TV time. That's what they do professionally. They bring cameras and show up. So I make sure like people like Dwayne Richardson over in Bel Air Edison. There's a Greenmount West Community Center. There's some ladies that do a community walk on Sunday mornings at 9 at Lake Montebello, and there's all these really great things happening in Baltimore. There's a digital inequity group over at Making Good in the Community Park in Bel Air Edison. So there's bread corn all over the city feeding people in Sandtown and down by Holland's Market and Broadway and Southeast and Northeast, and there's just all these really great things going on. I try to make sure that people have access to the information and understand like Baltimore is beyond Fox News. Baltimore is beyond what you see on NBC or whatever, bro. It's a lot like, and when people plug in, they get it. Right, here's my logo, right? Because I need people to plug in.
Oh,
when you plug in, that's my nonprofit logo, PowerFest Baltimore. So when people plug in, they understand like Baltimore is really all love. And I ain't gonna cuss on the show when people are like, when they come hating on you, like, you hate me, F it, I love you. Because I'm from Baltimore. That's a Baltimore thing. Nowhere else in the world. I've lived up and down the East Coast. I've traveled around the country. I've never been out of the country, but Nowhere else in the United States have I felt love like I felt in Baltimore.
Oh, wow.
So,
well,
Chap,
we
what?
definitely want to thank you and
Yeah.
honor him. Like, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we give out flowers while you're here. Like I said,
I'm
that's
with
a cute
it.
puppy in the background. Cute puppy. That's a big one, though. He's a big one.
Oh, you see it? Yeah, it's my Doberman. It's my Doberman.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Here, let's see if we can get him on
Devon,
camera
you
here.
having trauma issues?
Listen, I almost turned this camera off.
But Chad,
no, he's
we did have a connection today that I think that'll be a good link for you. We actually had on our radio show early on Patrick Henderson Meet the People on WOLB 1010. We come on at 11:30 every Monday. It was a judge on there.
Judge Pastori.
Yeah, Judge Pastori. Jason, tell him about her program.
I mean, just so we've heard rumors of judges, being very kind of progressive. I said it today. Judge Bell was one of them. Chief Justice Wanda Hurd was one of them. Now we have one that we could say technically is outside of our community because Judge Bell and Chief Justice Wanda Hurd is in our community. Now, something that we've never heard of is that judges that are outside of our community really empathizing with the plight of what's happening to our young men and our young women that are coming through the system. And instead of always looking at incarceration or probation or some sort of, pre-trial judgment, a PBJ or a stat to basically hold people accountable, she's sentencing them to work programs and getting them workforce development and giving them opportunities instead of penalizing them. Helping to navigate to be successful in life as opposed to being caught up in the system and trying to navigate through reentry or in some cases navigate through violating parole and probation, and end up becoming a part, a statistic of the criminal justice system. So I have to give it out to Judge Pastori. I have to say that.
Right. I'll comment on that, right?
And the name, what did Patrick say her name means?
Servant or something.
Shepherd.
Shepherd.
It means shepherd.
So I want to comment on the program though, right? Because that sounds really good. I don't have any experience with it, so I wouldn't. Like I said, I try to hide from politics as much as possible because sometimes I don't know or something sounds good and it's not. That sounds really good. So on my show, I would like, for example, I would love to have guests who are part of that program to speak about what it has done for them, because then we're laying down the truth of people that have experienced the program. So no matter what crap somebody talks, or it's this or that, it's ABC, let the people speak who have experienced it and let them tell you what it has done for them. That's the truth. Like the program or not, you think it's, good or not, let the people speak and let that truth be heard, because that truth is unarguable, because that's that person's experience with the program.
Yes.
But what better way to do it than to actually send in the people where we can have our own testimony?
Exactly.
We send the people through the program. It's not only just in the criminal justice system, but the thing is that it wasn't supported by the mayor, and it wasn't supported by somehow elected officials. She got some funding from the governor, and she got some funding from what Corey McCray actually.
That's pretty normal. And right. I will say, again, not being a political person, but I will say in many of my efforts when I've gotten desperate or needed heavy hitters, through different chains of relationships, the Hogan administration has showed up on Pensy Ave, Sandtown, Greektown, Bayview. When we've reached out to them out of necessity, they've always shown up. So again, not being a politician, not choosing sides or parties, just saying that is my experience and my truth, right? Mm-hmm. And like people like Sheila Dixon, right? So I don't know much about her personally or politics, but I know that in my efforts, she has shown up and come through on her promises. So on my personal experience. And so I make sure that people understand that's my personal context, because she may be a horrible person. I don't know. I've never met her personally for an extended amount of time, right? These are all like transactional relationships for the community. Same with Hogan. Like I've never met him, sat and talked with him or anything, but when I've called his administration, said we need this, the state's been more supportive in Baltimore City than the actual city. And that is what doesn't make sense, because we have the most funding out of any city in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
And it never trickles down to where the people need it.
Nope.
Well, it shouldn't be trickling at all. But you have to understand
Right.
that even though we have to be in that realm, we are not politicians. We're peopleticians.
Mm-hmm.
And our job is to protect the people, not the politicians or the policy. Our job, because they policy us to prison, they policy us to mass incarceration, they policy us to hunger. So no, we are, and we have to actually go up against these entities. And that's what, I guess where the name Bully Pulley come in at, because I tell them when I go fight, I fight for the people.
And you know what? You're not, it's not even a matter of like, you're not even disrespectful. You just very aggressively tell the truth and hold people accountable. And that's the bully part that people take personal. But I'll say from my experience and watching you work, it's not ever disrespectful. It's not ever necessarily, I won't even say it's inappropriate at all, because what you're doing is you're calling out people to do your job, right? That's all you're asking you, like, do your job, period. Like, it's not like you're really bullying people. You hold people accountable. That's intimidating.
That's what accountability looks like. And, the ones that get offended is the ones who, if the shoe fit, wear it type of mentality. If you were doing what you're supposed to do, you would not be offended by anything that I said. And I actually just told a city official that earlier today.
I hope it was Ryan Dorsey.
He won't take none of my calls no more. He done blocked me.
I ain't no politician, but that's my councilman, and I have had personal experience with him, and it has been he's a clown, man. That's all I can say. I'll say it on record on this show.
Yeah.
He's a clown. And I'll talk about nobody. I don't get involved in no politics, but this guy's a clown, man, taking a paycheck.
He's definitely He's definitely one of the ones that need to go, because he's disrespectful.
Yep. Yeah. And he don't do his job. You walk out of a meeting because why? It doesn't matter why. Your job's to be in that meeting.
Exactly.
What I think so important about some of the discussions that come out from some of our politicians, especially from the governor, and I think that's why today's conversation was so important with Judge Patori. Sometimes folks are writing prescriptions for our community that are not within the front line. Judge Patori is in the front line. She is in the front line of our criminal justice system, and she's dealing with the residuals of all the social ills in Baltimore City that's causing our young men and our young women to have to be present in front of her. And what I appreciate about her is, instead of her writing a prescription based on very broad policies or very broad public safety beliefs, and that was the argument that I had with the governor. The governor wanted to try to hold judges accountable, have some sort of report card or some sort of scoring system, X's and O's, wins and loss, how many prosecutions versus people being released or put into other programs, which in some cases, Judge Bell, Judge Wanda Hurd has warned the community that this could be an issue within our community, because not to have that judiciary discretion, not to be able to have a judge to have discretion to say, hey, I want to give this young man a chance because I see something in this young man. Or maybe an organization like People Empowered by the Struggle has come in and has adopted this person, or is mentoring this person, or is giving this person guidance. You know what I mean? We're helping them, to navigate, through whatever their issue is with the criminal justice system. And instead of the system looking at and giving them a chance, now the system feels that it's forced, because the governor's opinion is that we have to be tougher on public safety. We have to charge more. We have to sentence longer. We have to sentence more, because that vibe or that atmosphere is being created by people who are writing prescriptions who do not know what's going on in our community.
Remember, Jason, she said something very important today. She said, I just feel like it's cheaper to help. She said it's cheaper to have them going through a program which is for free versus the criminal justice system paying almost $50,000 per person a year. So, that actually made, it made sense. SENSE. instead of CENTS, as Donna always say. Right.
It's an $80+ billion industry, the industrial prison complex. And
it's money.
And unfortunately, the judges are in the front line of really deciding whether or not that system continues to thrive as is, or we provide some sort of alternatives that strengthens our young men and women and helps them to get on a better path.
Right. Yeah. See, my whole take on it is, if we know what's working, why don't we use it? Instead, we get these big head people that feel like they can, anybody that seems to think that they can fix the city by themselves is completely insane.
You know what? Because some of these people that's trying to fix it is overly educated and never been through our communities. So they teach them in a book how to prescribe things, like prescriptions, like Jason said. They give us prescriptions for social ills that they know nothing about. You have to literally live through this mess in order to get through this mess. And then when you're talking to people want to know that they're talking to somebody that's been through it, because if you have the experience and you don't have a PhD behind your name, that makes you more certified, I think.
Wait a minute, Jason, what do PhD stand for?
I forget. There's so many. Actually, there's so many.
The one you said you was going to use. Well, when you think about it, let me know. But
yeah, I forgot it.
We have the things where we don't do best practices. We have the thing where nobody should come in and sit in that seat and think that they're better than anybody. To think that their ideas is going to be the one that change the universe. That Godplex mentality. We should not go in there thinking or using this type of thing. You should be listening to everybody, because even though it's no I in team, they feel like it's an ME. And
it is
it is, but it's we don't need them to use that, especially when we're talking about people dying, losing their life, or being hungry, or piss poor educational system. We have to understand. And one thing I love about people empowered by the struggle, we don't only hold them accountable, we hold us accountable. And we argue all the time. We argue all the time. And just because we don't chastise in public, don't mean that it's not done. I don't do everything right. I don't know everything, and I don't claim to. But when I have an awesome team that stands behind me and calls me out on my mess, that's nothing but love. The Bible said we chastise each other in love. So that's nothing but love. I don't look at it like, oh, you're just trying to take over, or all that weird stuff people have going on in their organization. We don't have that in PEBTS. It's no head. It's no one at the head. Even though I'm the founder, executive director, I'm not at the head. It takes a village to heal a nation. So we have to start with this village right here, and we will heal Baltimore City with or without our so-called politicians. I mean, it would just be easier to work with us than against us. Donna is 6:57. Give your closing words. Well, Jason, you want to give yours first? We're going to go in line.
No, I think we should go on Devon.
Okay, Devon, you first.
Yeah.
Can you talk?
Or maybe not.
Send they look like a big grin bunny.
Stay blessed, brothers and sisters.
Okay. Well, Donna,
listen,
follow up behind the mess.
When you asked, I was daydreaming.
Oh wow! Hopefully you daydream about something that you're gonna help this community on. I love it.
I really was, and I was about to say it, and then when you asked, the whole thing, boom! I was like,
it definitely happened. So Devon, I just like to thank you. I like to thank you for coming on. Like your words of wisdom. Like we definitely need you to be a part of this show as much as possible, and maybe even lead your own show. Get the word out, and just let's see what we could do.
Well, listen, brother, let me know. Just pick a topic. Let me know the topic early. So,
yeah, it's called Frontline News. We bring you the news from now and beyond. We don't have a certain thing that we talk about, because our conversations go with one thing about us. Our conversation, our heart leads our conversation. Wherever the pain is, we meet it at it, and we just deal with it.
Right. Jason.
No, at the end of the day, you can't write a prescription if you don't know your patient. And, I think it's important that us as the community, being the front line, that in some cases we have to hold the doctor's hand and show them exactly where it hurts at. So, and I'm hoping that these conversations were able to point people to where it hurts at, and allow them to be able to write a better prescription. That's all. At the end of the day.
Well, we are people empowered by the struggle. We are the front line. We are Frontline News. And, we like two-way conversations. So if you would like to join us on any of our conversations, then, always feel free. We're open book. We're, if you don't like what we say, we absolutely, we love you for it anyway. Come on, tell us what you don't like, what you do like. It should not be, I wish you stop putting that up there, sir. So you about to lose your button of control.
All right, so
we ain't got a song for it. Bully, pulley, bully, pulley.
Hey, Jason, I like to throw it out there that Yolanda had bully pulley since middle school. So, this not even a new name for her. She's been what was that? Cherry Hill Middle School. Her name was Bully Pulley then.
Right. So question, before everybody leave, the next time that I'm on here, can I hold my fingers like this and then do this when I go to speak?
No.
Okay.
No. But we want to thank you for joining Frontline News. If you would like to reach out to us, our website is pebts.org, or you can email us at pebts.org@gmail.com, or you can call us at 410-355-8014.
That's not 443.
443. I'm going to give our granny phone number. My God.
Yeah. So
our phone
you
number
need
is
to be careful with what you're doing.
443-355-8014. If you need us, we will always stand in the gap. We will fight for you. And even when, only thing we say, if we join you in your efforts, when we throw the brick through the window, don't run on us. Until we meet again next Monday at 6 p.m. We love you, but God loves you more.
Throw you one of those dating game kisses. Good night.
Can we go out with the song? Can we go out with the story? Here's a story of an angry lady who created PEBTS.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
Love y'all.
All that team at hair gold. Good night, team.
Good night.
See y'all next week.